said, if that happens, I don't think we should retroact that law to everyone.
Just mean you wanted slavery to go away.
Yeah, so the answer to give is it's very much reasonable to fear that they would come for you. That's the end of that.
So they won't be able to retroactively arrest people for doing it.
No,
and you would retroactively lose your citizenship.
At some point, you got to start believing them, right? Like
all
DHS
we can do is
tweeted out a
denaturalize
tweet that said
somebody.
America after 100 million deportations.
Nice.
That's what DHS tweeted out a couple weeks ago.
You should be able to come here. My personal view, if you want my personal view on immigration, I don't think you should be able to come here, have a baby, and that baby have immigration status. Because I know, just if we want to go just off an anecdote anymore, I don't think you should be reversed. But I have, my girl has told me multiple stories of Vietnamese people who come here, have a baby, and go back. And when they turn 18, they can come here and be citizens, even though they're going to live their entire life in Vietnam. Because the parents cannot get citizenship, and then eventually they'll get citizenship. On top of that, I think that we should adopt more of a Japanese view on immigration. If you immigrate here, then you should be able to have to give up your old. You can't be a citizen of Japan and any other country. You can exclusively be an immigrant, citizen of Japan. I think you should have to renounce all other citizenships to be a citizen of America.
Even our allies.
Hold on. Dual citizenship.
I don't believe in it.
Dual citizenship, though, it's.
Let me see if anything's changed since.
I don't like dual citizenship.
I mean, I agree that you shouldn't be in government. But...
Admiral Gibson in the Big Ten for the rage. You haven't raged really all night. This is probably the calmest I've seen you. But now I'm afraid after watching your reaction to Azrael. So let it rage.
I mean, I don't know about just like.
Are we going to get a 1v1?
I don't know about rage. It's just like I'm just like torn because you picked the most racist country ever, like at Japan. Hey, let's increase Japanese importing, but like fuck the Mexicans. Like,
so I'm saying this is kind of a dog whistle.
I said we should adopt a Japanese policy of no dual citizenship. Should we adopt all Japanese policy, Japan's policy? No, you're right. I grant you they are very racist. But the one policy where you can't have dual citizenship, I don't think we should. I think you should have to renounce every other citizenship to get
Why not? We're a country of immigrants.
Okay,
why not have dual citizenship?
What would be the purpose of renouncing the other citizenships? Like, why can't you be loyal to two countries?
Because you cannot return to those countries after that. You are an American.
You're not allowed to move? We're gonna restrict people from where they can live now.
You can de-immigrate. You can un-immigrate. You can de-immigrate from America and immigrate to another country whenever you want, as long as they're willing to accept you. But I think you should have to renounce citizenship to be an American citizen. I'm a little bit extremist on that, but
to me, all this stuff smells like some kind of weird dream to eventually turn the U.S. into some kind of homogenized state. That's all this reeks of to me, and it's never going to work. Like multiple people have said on the panel, you would have to wreck this country in ways that it would be like unrecognizable by the end of it to excise that many people out of the country.
And also
they've used this immigration argument for a very long time for these dog whistle white.
I could point out a few countries that have used this shit before too.
Nations. I'm not saying that. I understand people have genuine.
Are you assuming my race?
I understand people have genuine concerns with illegal immigrants. I totally understand that. I'm not anti-deportation, but
I'm actually mixed race. I'm not more than 15% of anything, bro.
Yeah, you can be black and hate black people. Like it's
I think we should have a visa for childbearing age hot women.
Hot take. Only immigrant childbearing age hot women. Whatever she said, I'm down for it. That sounds awesome.
Childbearing age women who are hot. We need a visa for those that can potentially be changed to an application for marriage. I don't remember the name.
What age do you consider childbearing?
I don't think we should ever do that. But
what do you consider childbearing, Ghosty?
We should ask the Muslim countries, right?
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Let's ask them. Let's ask them. Yeah, let's ask them.
Hey, you better be careful.
Hey,
they get pretty offended.
We could go free all of their women out in all of the Muslim countries, bring them here as refugees.
Well, hold on. We're about to do that in Iran. Give them a chance to do it.
Wait. But we can hand them out like candy because it would be better treatment than what they're used to.
They would do that to us. They would do that.
We could feed them lab grown meat too.
Second world and above.
If they physically could, they would literally do that to us.
Democracy.
You laugh at that, you make a joke, but they would literally do that to us. If they had the opportunity, they would 100% kill all of our men and take every one of you women. But go back to four. If we want to bring it back to four.
I'm so glad he understands my point from earlier. I'm so glad he now understands it. Yeah,
I always understood it. What do you mean?
Force doctrine jockey.
Motherfucker think the Mongols are coming? What the fuck? Like all of our bitches?
We'll never let them do it.
You can't have
them. Hold on, though.
They're not gonna want me anyway.
They won't want us.
They
won't want
us.
When they're done, they will.
What the fuck?
Oh, when they're done with, they will.
Nah, we'll talk too much and prattle. They'll get annoyed real fast.
They're gonna hang us off of cranes like they do in freaking Iran.
Yeah, not when they're done.
Oh my god. You can keep saying that. That don't make it any more true.
I just wanted to know if anybody.
What do you mean that they don't hang people off of cranes in Iran? Are you crazy?
I'm not.
They literally hang gays and like throw gays off buildings.
I was talking to Azrael. Calm down.
I have a question for you, Azrael. Are you concerned at all that when the left takes power again, if the right keeps playing the game like there's nothing to lose, this is our one chance, go as far as you fucking can, do everything you can, that any of these new policies will set a precedent that will be turned on us?
Well, if that happens,
like for instance, take guns away from transgenders because they're mentally ill. Well, who's to decide that you aren't mentally ill for being on the right once they take power?
Constitutional rights don't matter anymore.
They do have gender dysphoria, but so they.
Hold on. I can admit to this.
But that's why
you can have ADHD and own a gun, though, right? Like not all mental illness.
If we make it normal to come down this hard on the other side, are you worried it's going to come to happen to us?
I responded to that after Crack Baby said.
Hold on. Let me say it. I was for Josiana.
Just Josie.
Just call her Josie.
Josie, I agree with what you just said about ADHD because literally, like
that was Ghosty.
Oh, I said that.
Whoever said it. Like literally just a month ago, I literally just discovered I had ADHD, which is funny because that's how I got my name Crack Baby because the way I move.
Yeah, we could have told you that shit 30 minutes ago, just meeting you.
Thank you very much. But
don't go on medication. Just saying.
Actually,
it's just theft anyway.
Hold on.
It helps some people. You can't.
Stop distracting him. He has ADD.
Let him talk. You're harming his ADHD right now by everyone throwing in different stuff. Go ahead, Crack Baby.
Get what I was gonna say. So calm down. So like I was saying, which I did start medication, but I'm only on one SRI, and so far it hasn't affected me too much. But I'm so self-aware that I can pay attention to, or this is affecting me. And for considering that I am a gunsmith and I have a FFL, so I have to definitely pay attention to stuff like that. But if the government didn't feel like I was so crazy enough to do anything, then I'm good because I've had CHL since I was 21 years old and stuff like that. I am a civil person within the community, as you could say.
Well, I'll say I'm convinced that Azrael is probably a good solid reason why every woman should go out and purchase their pew-pews so that they have the force doctrine on their side, because as Andrew Wilson would also be agreeable to, right, Azrael, is that pew-pews are an equalizer between male and female. So
well, you would think that, but the majority of women who own a gun and account for gun violence, they typically die from their own gun than they ever get to use it. So typically women do not actually get to use the gun, but in fact have it used against them.
Oh my
Actually,
God.
long distance
gun owners end up killing them.
Women are better long distance shooter. They tend to hit their target before men do.
That's just wrong. I was in the military, and in all cases, in all cases, tell them how bad women were on the range then.
Yes, but they're also.
I was on the shooting team. Hold on. Women actually shoot better.
Yeah, I'm on the shooting team too, and that all the first rankings are women.
I've seen good women on the range and bad women on the range, just like good men on the range and bad men on the range.
I've only seen bad women on the range. I've never seen a woman who's good. My entire enlistment, I never saw a woman who's good. What guns are they good at shooting?
I think that the problem you run into with women in that situation,
dudes do reload quicker.
It doesn't have to do with the gun. It has to do with a woman's tendency to just freeze.
Women do not reload quicker. You can just do a speed reload. I can reload M16.
I can tell you one thing for sure.
Or not.
Can you do that motion one more time? The reload.
But what guns are women better at shooting at? Is it M16s or is it light guns? Because
long distance, like sniper.
I don't know if you know this.
Sniper.
I can admit one thing, that if you like Jerry Mislick, he's one of the fastest gun loaders in the world. If you're in the gun community, you know that.
He's this fast?
One of the
Jerry Mislick. Nice.
Calm down, Paul. Scoot your ass back. Like I was saying. But then his daughter is even almost faster. So we can also assume that men and women can be fast at the same thing, but we can also say that men might have more of a strength at one thing than another.
Also, more men just use guns in general, so you're going to have a way bigger pool to look at than women.
Yeah, but even then, you can look up the statistics. Women typically have their personal firearm used on them more often than they use it on an assailant. It's just statistics. It's facts. It cannot be argued. You can go look it up right now.
Where's those? Are those statistics?
Go look it up.
All right, you can say it. But
From the FBI, from the
if you're gonna
FBI.
throw something out, then at least.
Oh, so now per capita makes sense, huh?
No, if you're gonna throw it out, at least
capita does
throw
make
out where you
sense.
got it from. Am I
I know what
correct?
per capita means. I just said the FBI statistics. Any kind of government statistics.
I was just fucking with you.
That keep track of that. But no, I know what per capita means. And I was
just fucking with you because I have to say that to the other side all the time too. Like, oh, now you understand what per capita means when it behooves you.
Yeah.
There's actually some data that have been released, and they're from like old data that they retrieved from the KGB that were actually documented and everything. And apparently, like, their women were freaking dangerous, bro. It's pretty badass.
Cool story.
That was in the like 70s, 60s.
You're not going to convince Azrael. It's a part of his personality that he has to prove that men are better than women.
I don't think men. I never said men are better than women. Men are not better than women or over women.
We complete each other.
We should both be respected.
He just thinks that men has more force over women because they can do this.
No. I believe women should be cherished. And when I have a daughter, it's not like I'll think that men should rule over her. No, I'm going to educate my daughter. I'm going to make sure
Too bad you can't beat people up.
Are you gonna let her future husband lock her in a cage too?
Hit her with that book until she learns.
No, but I do want her to honor her husband's authority under the church.
Ew.
Absolutely,
I'm a Christian.
It's like it's a husband. It's not like all men that are average, like
the American
dumpsters.
Hold on. Listen to what he said though, right? So
under the church,
in his argument earlier, he said, "Hey, women are more likely to get killed by their own handgun," and I looked it up. That's true. But here's the kicker. They're killed by their intimate partner. So they're killed by a man with their own handgun.
Not
so
always,
you're just saying men are killing women.
Where do you get your statistics from?
That's a disingenuous shit, man.
It's awesome. So no, you're right. It is per capita. It's done more so by the intimate partner. However,
crazy work.
Wait. When it comes
crack baby, you kind of look like the black version of Dan Bongino when I'm looking now.
It's the same thing. So yeah, the per capita argument is by their intimate partners, but that doesn't refute my point. Is the fact that they get assaulted with their own guns more often than they get to use them.
I mean, it's a lot easier.
I believe in your right to have
they live with
kill you with your gun. Okay, I believe you have a right to have that gun and have your boyfriend shoot you with it. I'm not taking that away from you.
Sleeping. Like
it's your right.
I don't know, that the intimate partner thing makes so much more sense.
I don't know. That's
like,
funny, Gibbs.
It's a real important part of information you left out. Real key piece right there. You noticed that lesbian couples were included too. I'm just saying.
Yeah. How far did you look at the?
Yeah, that's important because it's
Yeah, I know it's typically their intimate partner, but it's also home intrusion. So in home intrusions, they get killed by their own weapon more so than they get to kill the.
Yeah, but here's the thing: out of 1,000 women deaths by handgun, 2/3 were by their intimate partners. So
that's true.
She shot
it looks like
got raped.
First off,
it doesn't refute my point. Yes, it's fucked up, and yes, men do that. And we
hold on. Is there a chance that most likely those men have their own guns too? Right? I'm assuming the intimate partners. Well,
yes, it does, kinda.
What I'm saying is if he has a gun, right? They're both probably living in the same house. Yeah. She probably has no chance of getting her own gun if he is holding his or has the threat.
There's two statistics here, right? So for every one time a woman killed a home invader, they were killed 302 times with a handgun, right? Okay. So here's the kicker: of 1,000 women that died via handgun, not just their own handgun, but of 1,000 women that died via handgun. So the percentage of women died via their own handgun already about yay big, right? Guess what? Out of 1,000, 2/3 were killed by their intimate partner, whether it's their gun or someone else's gun. And so you're even registering it down.
Yeah,
women are just getting killed by men, is what you're saying. It's like
women should pick better men. Yeah. Exactly. Force doctrine. How is this refuting my point? You're just showing evidence to my point. I'm not saying it's right. It's very wrong.
If you can figure out how to get women to stop dating scumbags, you have figured out a problem that has existed since the beginning of fucking time, man. Good luck.
God.
That also doesn't prove that the majority of home invasions, women end up getting killed by their own handgun. That's not what that stat says.
I didn't say the majority of home invasions, they get killed by their own gun. I said majority.
But that's what you were kind of implying.
No.
You were originally implying that.
He originally said, stop. He originally said women hurt them.
Oh my god, how is this?
Kill themselves the most, like
Ghosty chick's so
by their own gun.
Fucking dumb. Oh my god, I just want to freaking kill myself.
Their own gun more than anyone else. I said
in
that
Minecraft.
Women are killed with their own guns more often.
She's a
than they
fucking
kill
idiot.
I've never. So
holy crap!
You're kind of implying though that when women are facing like an attacker, they end up getting killed with their own gun.
With their own gun.
Yeah, but that's leaving out the 2/3.
Sure, don't like you.
Here's the other thing that he's leaving out, right? In a gun in the home increases the risk of homicide by 20 times when there's a history of domestic violence. So, like, what that's even telling me, right, is, it's not just that women are getting killed by their own guns. It's probably, they might have a gun in the home. It could be the family gun. And then hubby comes home wasted one night. It's like, where's my dinner? Bang, bang.
If you include suicide,
or she has a gun because she has a very violent partner, and then he ends up using it on her.
I also said in-home invasion.
Fuck?
So I excluded.
It turns out if you include suicide, the same thing can be said of men.
You know, ideally you leave before it comes down to that. If you feel I need a gun because he's dangerous, maybe.
Again, with the amazing advice.
And anyone tell me what my
the amazing hypothetical scenario that never fucking happens.
Your point is that women are useless to have a gun. Like
no,
this is
no.
Same subject.
You're saying if you were in the kitchen barefoot, you would
no. That it is misogyny to deny a woman her right to a firearm. That's what it is.
Yeah, I think they should be able to have a weapon. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it doesn't really help them, and they still need a man to protect them.
You still need to learn how to use it.
They have a gun technically.
It sounds like
you still need the men to kill the spiders. That's right.
It sounds like 2/3 of them that trusted a man, and he definitely did not protect her.
Exactly.
My daughter ain't no Marine, but I made sure
yet to hear the statistic about them against assailant.
She gets a gun when she.
It sounds like if we lived in an all-woman society, we wouldn't actually need all this protection from other men, and we could actually just fend for ourselves and then have our own force doctrine.
I don't know about that.
What?
I'm not gonna say that now.
I don't know about that. I've seen some pretty ruthless women.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you look at domestic abuse and specifically lesbian couples.
Let me hit a couple things for you real quick. The highest levels of domestic abuse and of any kind is done between lesbian couples. The second highest.
Is it murder though?
Yeah.
Are they murdering each other? Or are they slapping each other around?
I was trying to. Everyone was just talking.
I don't think they actually give those the actual details.
The second most common is between different sex couples, male and female. The least common is between males. So if you want to go, would women do better with all women? No, you guys abuse each other more than anyone else. You also abuse your husband more than anyone else.
And listen,
on top of that,
Nikki Haley,
infrastructure jobs, women's society would absolutely fail. You guys cannot uphold or maintain infrastructure. The world would go dark in 10 years.
like Nikki Haley signed and kissed the bombs that went and fell on apartments with residents in it in Gaza and civilians. That's a woman right there. Are you gonna tell me that women aren't more like warmonger, crime hungry than men? Are you crazy?
Novel idea.
Look at Hillary Clinton and all the wars that have been started, like the most like irrational, violent wars, like in the history. Usually, women are involved.
Hillary Clinton
started. I haven't personally done the research, so I'm just parroting this. So I'm not 100% on it. I'll say that when I've done my own research, but I have heard it said that women ruled countries have had more wars than their male counterparts.
Them bitches got something to prove, you know.
I've heard that said a lot in a lot of debates.
On what accordance,
or a lot of them were smart enough to manipulate the other men leaders around them and have other countries go to war on their behalf.
Yeah, because
like, you guys really think North Korea is run by Kim Jong-un? No, his sister is the fucking crazy one.
The real smart women don't actually do the work. They just host the place where all the men come and do the work.
Yeah, they just poison.
Or they hide behind the men to be taken seriously, and they just run him like a puppet.
So are you saying women would be more unsafe living in an all-female society?
Yes, they would.
Fuck
you wouldn't have any
shit.
kind of infrastructure at all.
Bullshit, because they would. Because
we hate each other.
You'd be consumed by bears.
You might hate women, but
like you lick sniz or something.
Hate each other.
You lick sniz, okay?
Would explode.
Yeah.
What percent of linemen are women?
Linemen.
Like a 0.000.1.
Hold on a second. You're assuming we need all of that in order to survive, though. Right?
So maybe you guys would start a farm and survive, but you wouldn't live in modern society 100%. But maybe like 10 of you start a farm and survive.
No, I'm good. I'll go with the man on the other side.
Is this gonna happen?
Does a gun and gun make equal?
It's the funny thing about the hypothetical, right? Is like without the other sex, all of us would die, right? Like there is no hypothetical where it's like all these men and how would they survive in society? Well, they wouldn't.
We would fight everything until we found some kind of womb that could host it. In a world without women, would be fucking bushes and rolled up leaves.
We don't.
I gotta be honest.
If they got to a certain point in science, they actually could make babies without men. Women.
None of you could resist my fried chicken, regardless of artificial wombs. Okay, so
I know most of you won't because most people in America don't read, but you guys should read a book called The Men by like Sarah Newman or something like that. It basically details a world where men all disappeared and women had to support society. It's a really good book. I think a lot of you would benefit from the read. It goes over this exact scenario.
I'm sure it's not biased at all.
Written by a woman.
Should you?
That doesn't mean anything.
You should read Why the Last Man then.
I gotta be honest. This scenario y'all are describing is real.
Well, hold on.
Gay.
Now we're
like, now we're gonna have all the men.
Talk.
Like
now
we're
we're
just have only
listening
men
to
around.
women.
Yeah, we're gonna only just have men around. That's gay. I don't want to live in that society.
I just want the obnoxious people to leave, man. I don't, like you can be just. Can the obnoxious
let's take a poll.
people
Who's gonna be a femboy here when all the women leave? Like,
with the crop top keffiyehs, gays for Palestine are gonna be the femboys there.
Okay, are we going back to like how you treated women back in like the 50s, where I get to just stay home all day and stuff? Because
yes,
like
Yes.
I'm wearing the dress for sure.
Like, and my man gave me $200 for literally no fucking reason earlier, and all I did today was like literally the bed, 2 loads of laundry. Like, this is a life you don't even understand.
Yeah, and there's not even childbirth involved. It's just men.
accept-
I just get to sit at home and do nothing.
Josie, I will gladly accept a half payment if you want to send $100 dono. You were asking
It
for
was
a number
cash.
earlier. There you go.
It was cash.
Well, okay.
I mean, what am I
You don't have that?
Send it through the screen?
You don't have a bank card for super chats?
See, illegals don't do that. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, I do.
Hey, what? You said
We put the cash under the bed,
I'm
woman.
from South Texas. You better believe illegals have debit cards.
Gift card.
Yeah, right.
Gift
Yeah,
card that
yeah.
shit.
You can't put more than
They also have
10,000 in there, otherwise they flag you.
Motherfuckers got full ass
At
credit
least.
cards. They're financing a truck and a house.
Well, I'm telling, under 4 people's names.
They got
I might
Azrael's
have-
name on that shit, but he ain't gonna find out for a few years.
They fucking might, bro.
$16 each.
They fucking might, bro.
No
It's
pickle.
crazy. They got food stamps.
No, I have a
They
hack
got
for
TANF.
that.
They got food stamps, TANF, and child support all in somebody else's name.
It depends on the state, actually. Some state allow it for, you don't necessarily need to be a citizen to have any of those benefits, unfortunately.
No, you got like one family member in the States, you're hooked up. You're good.
And they say that
there's
they
a lot of
don't-
ways
they
they
don't
get away
vote.
with it.
And they say they don't vote, but then that just shows how ignorant people are and how voting works.
You
So
don't
they
even need
still
voter
get
ID in
counted.
California. It's fucking
So
ridiculous.
It doesn't matter because votes isn't what elects anyone. It's the other than you're talking about, maybe Senate or Congress, but the president doesn't actually get elected by it gets voted by electoral college. But what actually puts those people into office are the census.
The number of senators plus the number of House representatives, what is represented by the census, which is counted. They do count a lot of illegals in the census, so it does trickle down.
Which barely changes since they capped the House, though.
That's
like you might move a seat or two, but it barely changes. If you uncap the House, if you took that provision out that capped the House,
fair enough. Yeah,
census would be really, really important.
I mean, it's not like a giant critical, like it's sink or swim issue, but I mean, it does affect things. It trickles down.
It definitely does.
And illegal immigrants are not eligible for SNAP or anything like
Tell
that.
that to the Somalian pirates and the crop top kafias.
Tell that to the ones who are fucking getting it. Let them know that. Hey, you're not eligible for
jihadis.
Somalis are citizens.
Once you're in the
temporary, or their children who are born here.
Doesn't you support terrorist organization? We still have the Patriot Act, even though you guys don't necessarily agree with it. They should get deported.
Well, hold on. Here's the problem I have, right? I was told first that they weren't getting any Medicaid and they weren't voting. And then we find out, here's a good example. A superintendent had voted in the presidential election twice, was an illegal alien. Like, okay, well, if that's just one example.
No, that doesn't happen, Gibbs.
Wait, how did
It never
they
happened.
vote?
2 different cases here.
That's a real good fucking question.
I'm genuinely curious. How did they vote without a voter ID?
2 different cases because some states don't require it, darling.
That's a real good question. Like, I mean,
do you know there's actually in front of Congress
states don't require voter ID?
California does not have voter ID. That is correct. Even to you, a raging lefty commie, it sounds crazy as fuck. It's because it is.
Why are you yelling at us?
Because I live in California.
Okay, I understand. I'd be yelling at people too.
I yell at people because I'm a French.
Register to vote.
I'm a French Jew, so I yell.
No. Yeah, just okay. So, in California, you can vote without an ID, but you still have to register to vote. To register to vote, you need to be a citizen.
But you don't need an ID.
You don't need an ID.
You don't need an ID at the voting.
You can steal identities, and it's very easy to do here. And they don't check.
I have the answer for you, Josie.
The fact that you don't understand
you fabricated documents.
You literally.
Okay, so you have to do fraud.
Yeah, they do fraud. That's right.
When they look at this fraud, it is not. It is not wide enough.
The implications of what you're saying show that you don't have the information or the IQ enough to even have this conversation.
No, when they calculate voter fraud, and if there's a small amount of voter.
Do you know how they calculate voter fraud?
You are as unqualified to have this conversation as those individuals are to vote. Yet they still
there
vote.
is not widespread.
And you're still having this conversation.
But they probably know more than she does.
Voter fraud that would impact the election.
Oh, there isn't? Really? Really, Ghosty? Do you want to really get into that?
Well, I
Yeah, you want to get into the Fulton County fucking raid that's going on right now? I'm so curious about your opinions on that.
Which one are we?
Which one are we
getting on?
Ran the world, there wouldn't be no war. See what's happening right now?
Well, I can answer this question for you with the Fulton County raid. You know, that was a states' rights issue, but if y'all recall, the Republicans came down during the war of Northern aggression and shot the states' rights out of the South and the Democrats, and so now the Republicans can go into Fulton County. There's your answer.
Why is it always Minnesota too?
What are they trying to get their hands on those documents, though? I'm so curious.
Because they think there's voter fraud. Yeah.
Even though it's been through 2 recounts and looked over by the federal government, and Bill Barr came out and said nothing was wrong and all that shit, and just now, 6 years later, they're going to magically find something that no one else found, right?
Do you want the reasonable person's explanation that doesn't make a villain out of anyone? If you're willing to accept
when they come out and say something like that, it's going to be a joke.
I got one. I don't trust none of them fuckers. I don't trust none of them.
Was January 6th an insurrection?
I do too.
No, but the reason, whether or not voter fraud happened in 2000 or not, I was covering that election live. We were watching the numbers live. Here's why people think there was fraud, and I don't think it's unreasonable to have that suspicion, but you have to fall back on what the findings are and just move the fuck forward with your fucking life. At about 11 p.m., I watched this with my own 2 eyes. They stopped counting. I had to end my stream. And Trump was ahead. Now the next day, when they released the numbers and started the counting again and released the numbers that they got in the after hours, suddenly Biden was very ahead. Now, and the people on the night before were all predicting Trump because of the way it was going. Now, is it possible the votes that came in were from a Biden heavy districts, urban areas?
This was explained over and over. This was primed
but I'm not
Trump.
Getting to
Bernie
the
Sanders
explanation.
Explained it before.
I'm just explaining why. I'm explaining why people found it suspicious and why I don't.
They found
it
suspicious
it
because they were told it was suspicious.
Dumb shit in the world. You know what I mean? Like when they're like, trans people are gonna rape your kids in bathrooms. I'm like, that just doesn't fucking happen. That's a dumb thing to worry about. That just doesn't happen. But
it does happen. But it's how widespread it is. It has happened.
Not as widespread as like the people of the same sex and gender.
I'm sure in history it has happened at some point, but
it's just how widespread it is.
Rapes if there's a child, typically, think about this just to stay calm about it. I'm not saying I'm not getting into all that, but typically, if there's a child in a bathroom, there's a parent lurking somewhere around outside the bathroom. Somebody's waiting for that kid. It's not like a high opportunity. It's not as high opportunity an area to molest someone as we were scared because they're in the bathroom and they're out of our eyesight and we're worried about them.
But there are cases where it happens, and there are cases where people who are trans identified have been formally convicted of sexual crimes, like recently with that African American lady and that white dude she kicked out.
Yes, but for that to be your number one leading off strongest argument when it's a statistical outlier is not the way to have that argument.
Especially when you use the argument. What was it earlier? Is like, the exception.
I'm not saying.
Exactly. That's their favorite statement.
I'm not saying we pass laws based on the bell curve.
It's like using Riley Gaines as an example for trans people in sports.
Exactly what you
it's
proposed.
Like the worst fucking example you could use.
I'm not saying pass trans laws based on.
I'm just saying. What are you trying to? As it applies to the top. Never mind. I didn't want to start more arguments. I was trying to calm this shit down. Shit. Fuck it.
Rage.
Kill them all. Gas all the way. Fuck it, dude.
They're trying to fight. Kill them all.
I'm not saying we pass laws based on the bell curves. I'm not saying that. The ends of the bell curve. We pass laws based on the large part of the bell curve.
So all the Muslims out. Got it.
I do think that people should go in the bathrooms there assigned.
I didn't want to get onto trans bathrooms, man, but this was not the direction I wanted to see it as an example.
I blame you for this.
You brought it up.
Holy shit, I was wrong. I should.
So kick all the Muslims out. Got it.
No, but continue. I was actually I don't know a lot about the voter. I know there's something about some kind of 4G computer.
I just was saying I understand why people think that and whether it is true or not.
Is again because they were told, just like the voting thing. They were told that it was suspicious. They were told before the election even happened it was going to be a rigged election. They were told about the fucking Dominion whatever voting booth. All this shit with a big lead up to the election being stolen before it even happened.
Investigated many times.
Yes, it was investigated.
Dominion has had problems.
Well, the 60
like
court
Bush
cases to
Y'all
start.
remember that?
Okay,
I mean,
but do you remember the text messages that
those
proved
aren't
that they were
valid in either
conspiring
way.
that on purpose?
Listen, I'm not going to be one of the ones on the right that's just sit here and go, yeah, I think there was fraud. I do think there's enough evidence that I would like to see another look. Like,
Yeah, I want
if
to
there's no more, if there's not enough evidence now after this look, then there's nothing. Let's move the fuck on, right? It's time to move on. But like, I'm not sold that nothing happened and it wasn't definitive in a couple places. Like, I got a few questions, but I'm not willing to say it was either. Right? Like, I don't think there's any harm with getting another look, especially.
No, that's where you're wrong. I think there is actually harm in getting another look, especially if they start making up some story that
Well, I agree.
that it wasn't actually Biden who won, so therefore everything that he did as last
You owe me a
president-
third term.
Ghosty, don't worry about it. They've got like deportations. They've got Iran. They're about to bomb. They released the Epstein files. Like, there's plenty of distraction to come around. I don't think they're gonna need to go that far.
It's
They
not
stole
about
my term as
distraction, it's about them
president.
setting
You owe me another
precedent.
one.
It's not about
If they say that the
distraction. Did
last
y'all hear
election
that?
was
It's
fucked
not
up,
about
then they can
distraction.
fuck this one.
Well, Bill
Listen,
Clinton speaks in his blue dress. It's not about distractions. Y'all heard that? Yeah.
I got an analogy for this. Let's just say I'm not saying it. I don't know enough about it either way to say if it was rigged. However, if I'm in a room and like half the people are like, dude, there's an elephant in that fucking corner, I'm not gonna be like, no, they said there's not an elephant. There's not an elephant. I think it warrants a little investigation if half the room's like there's an elephant in that corner.
This is
This is
the crazy pants thing, though. We went through the whole process. Trump was still president. His attorney general investigated it. There were like 2 recounts in Georgia. Then they confirmed it, and Barr still came out. You don't think those motherfuckers, if they could have found any reason to overturn it and say it was bad, that they wouldn't have? This is insane that you guys
Are
are
we
even
really
still harping
arguing
on
like
this.
election fraud
so
right now?
tell me why I
Like,
shouldn't be able to look in the corner to see if there's an elephant. Tell me why. I
This is
should
gay.
not
At this
be able.
point, he's basically seeded the ground with his statements that he said beforehand to basically tell us that he's going to take these boxes, which is not his purview at all. The Constitution is explicit. It is the state's purview to work elections. They take those boxes and they do something to them because this is the fucking most corrupt fucking administration ever. And they basically make yet another lie that you fucking gullible pieces of shit
Are you
all
50 or
swallow
older?
hook, line, and sinker
You
once
already know
again.
the
You
importance of children's
motherfuckers are
protection.
sucking
Aw.
Did you know pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination is recommended too?
Good split all
Why?
fucking
It's a
week,
golden
bro.
If you're 50 or
puppy.
older,
Shut
you're
the fuck up, bro.
I take it back. I called you.
But there's a
Lisa.
puppy.
I think that
Actually,
one of
a
the
yellow lab, believe it or not.
It's a yellow puppy.
Stop, Dante. I'm not yelling at you.
They have
Okay.
she's got the retriever colors on her, so she does look like a
She's
golden
cute.
retriever, but she's a mess.
We're not going to shut the fuck up. We're talking about the goddamn 2020 election like anyone can
You
do anything
shut
about
up.
it.
you got a puppy!
Going with the
I-
puppy.
Baby.
Here's a good boy.
Oh. Did you rescue?
All over you. Well, no, it was like a friend's son had a litter of 10 and they needed to get rid of him. So
Oh,
Look at those paws. He's going to be a big boy
Mama.
or a big girl.
no,
I love their big
God.
flappy paws.
I already got 2 big ones. I don't need another big one.
Look at those
Yeah, I
paws.
hear
You're going to
you.
have another big one.
Yeah, she's gonna be big.
Don't say that.
She's definitely gonna be a very large dog.
Come on. Come on.
Can I
did
just
you
say
see
while
the
we're talking about
puppy
the
I got for
election that-
Glenn? Did you see the puppy I got for Glenn? The big
No
one,
effigy because you piss off the other guy who will never
Yeah.
stop talking.
Look, when it comes to the election, what happened was detailed a week before it happened by Bernie Sanders. He basically called it like shot for shot. He basically said what was going to happen is that right around the end of the actual vote counts of the normal votes, Trump was going to declare victory because by law, the mail-in ballots could not be counted and added to the official tally until after all the regular vote counts were done, and that the vote count would change in the night, and then people would say that that was someone stealing the election. Exactly what he said happened. You can go find the clip. And all of that was preceded by Trump to be the narrative that played out. Exactly what was always going to happen.
Can we both agree that in the future we should try to avoid that type of situation just so people don't get all fucking suspect about it? Like give the baby their fucking bottle and like not even start anything until the next day.
It depends,
then, you know
right?
what I mean?
If someone is going to be malicious, no matter what process you put there, they're going to find some way to lie about it. This is just about a liar lying and a bunch of people accepting the lie.
All right. Well, I mean, if that's the way you feel about it, that's cool, man.
I mean, I agree with you. I would love the process to be cleaner, easier, faster.
Is you ready?
I'm usually too high by this point in the night to be passionate about anything.
He's like, what are we doing?
I just like am sitting here like listening to this. Like, if you like voted for Trump, like, and were like a pure MAGA person, right? You voted for him in 2016. And part of it was like clearing out the swamp. And if you look at like who he had put in his administration, it was like he still had to like play like some of the favorites to like the old people, right? Like in other factions. He had to get some of the old neocons there, whatever. And then he had to appoint some people, and they stayed through the other administrations, right?
He set a record for firing people in his first term.
Right, because he's gutting the place. That's what it was elected for. No, just like he put Lyndon McMahon.
You're not gutting the people you put into place.
He's gutting yes men.
No. Okay. The problem I have with this, right, is he's anti-establishment Republican. He's like a populist, right? He's like the answer to the question that the Dems put forward with Bernie, but he's on the Republican side, right? He's the populist, right? He's destroying this like established order, the Uniparty, which is like the alliance of neocons and neolibs. And I think
I don't know if he's a populist, man. Like I know he rode in on the
I don't know if he's
on
truly
the throne of a populist. But now that I've seen this far into it, I'm kind of thinking the word imperialist works better. I mean, he's really big on expansion, and
I mean, maybe, but like my point is though, is he's finally got his people here.
I'm not taking a shit on him.
You
can say it's like
some people
yes,
want
man.
an empire.
Yeah, but you could say I do. I want an empire, but like you can say it's yes, man, right? But I'm saying okay, every so often, maybe he's the most corrupt guy or whatever, but it's like new corruption. They're going to clean out the old rot, and we're going to get to assess what's happening in real time. Sometimes you got to set fire to the forest so it can grow for again.
Yeah, Stalin generals.
I've heard Christians say shit like this for the excuse for supporting an absolutely immoral guy. Like they point to a person in the Bible that God used who was an immoral person. And it's just like, you're all just making excuses for following a piece of shit.
Sometimes you got to blast a few generals to make sure that you don't have any dissenters, man.
Who was the immoral person in the Bible that God supported?
I can't even remember. It was one of the kings in the Old Testament that people kept pointing to.
You talking about David? You talking about Solomon? You talking about Saul? A lot of them, bro. Even
if you use David, the guy who's a man after God's own heart, he literally put a guy up in the front line so he died. He can fuck his wife.
Yeah, and he can take his wife.
The good guy. Like,
so people make mistakes. Not everything everyone does is good. Yeah, I grant you that's a very big mistake, but I mean, for the time, it's not that evil of a deed, to be honest. For the time, people were doing some really fucked up shit back then. Okay.
Isn't God timeless? Aren't morals kind of like timeless?
But people aren't. So God's saying today, yesterday, and forever. No, I never
morals
said that.
are timeless. Morals have changed with every fucking society.
No, I mean I'm saying based on a religious standpoint. I agree with that personally, but based on a religious standpoint.
Patronizing.
Yeah, David used a forced doctrine to fuck that guy's wife.
I didn't know you well enough to pick up on the sarcasm. Sorry.
It was fucked up.
We'll go about 10 more minutes, and then I got to get out of here. I actually have to get kids on a bus eventually, so surprisingly somehow I made it throughout the entire night, and it gets to that point where it's like, okay, if I go and try to go to sleep now, I won't get up in time to put them on the bus, so it's like you pass the point of no return for staying up. Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't know you were on the East Coast. I always thought you were in the Midwest. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Was that the story effigy you were talking about, or was it a different one? Because Saul did some really fucked up shit, and Solomon did some fucked up shit too, and he had like 800 wives. I mean, every king's gonna do some fucked up shit because no one's perfect. And Christians are not Christ; they are Christians. We strive to follow Christ, but back then things were a lot different. Just like everyone wants to quote slavery in the Bible, but there's only two forms of slavery in the Bible: prisoners of war and indentured servitude. Prisoners of war are typically ones who the Israelites captured in war, and indentured servitude are people who owe people money.
Now, you know that book was written like 2,000 years ago, right?
I've read the book, yes.
Right. Making sure, I mean, some things just, some of those issues maybe they didn't know we'd have. They couldn't foresee, and it doesn't really apply to everything. Or not. I'm not trying to take your faith away. I'm not
The
that
basic
guy.
moral standard for the Bible is pretty consistent. So
fair enough. In the yeah, you're talking about religion. That's cool.
It just didn't have the forethought to stick in that whole like don't grape people, don't enslave people into the 10 Commandments. They just missed an opportunity there.
Well, you see, the kings that were trying to control the populations at the time and were adding their little pieces into that book to help that happen wanted to be able to kill and rape
not
people.
even possible. That's not true and not possible. And it says it condemns rape in every manner in the Bible. The only thing you could say that it doesn't.
Yeah.
But I mean,
like the King James Bible. What?
But you don't think either one of those would have been more important than like don't make a graven image, you know? Or
so the first 4 are to honor your God, and the last 6 are how to respect and honor your fellow human. So
why do you need 4 commandments about God?
Because God is first, because God created us, because God is our all, is everything to us.
Seems a little egotistical for an all-loving God, but I don't know. That's my opinion.
I love the way you're attributing humanistic attributes to an all-powerful, all-knowing God who judges us righteously because he is all good. I love how you're attributing.
I'm going to take off.
We think it was written by a human. All of it was written by a human, and it's all just men making shit up. That's what we think.
I don't really do religion. I'm going to go ahead and take off. I don't really do religion, but I also don't want to I don't fuck with it. I'm so dedicated to believing in not knowing what's going on that I'm willing to let you guys believe in whatever. So I'm going to get out of here.
I used to be just like you, man. I don't know how old you are, but I spent about 28, 29, almost 30 years as an atheist. So.
I wouldn't say I'm an atheist, but I'm just I feel like an ant that's trying to stare up at a human and figure out what the human is all about. I'm not. I don't know. I don't feel like it's worth the fighting with people. But
it's worth. I'll say this.
Let
it's
him
worth
go,
the exploration.
Azrael. He wants to go. AP,
you guys all have a great night. Yeah, no problem. It was fun. Take it easy.
But yeah, it's just people who've never read the Bible attributing their own biases off basic little clips they got off TikTok.
I don't have TikTok.
Argument points.
But I did read the 10 Commandments, and I think they're silly for the most part.
What are they?
Like you said, the first 3 are don't put another God before me.
4.
Don't say God's name in vain. Go make sure you worship me on Sunday. It just seems like if these are the rules of morals for if these are the rules and lists of morals, it's like, geez,
do not covet your neighbor's ox. Do not bear false witness. There's more.
Shout out to James. James was here when this show started 9 hours ago. And he says, an all-night shit show, and the goal is broken. The goal is broken because I stopped. I didn't set it again, and quite honestly, the panel was paneling so well that I wasn't feeling the need to be greedy for the evening. But thank you, James. We're actually going to go ahead and... Oh, my God, shut up. We're actually going to go ahead. Let's do our closing thoughts so I can get out of here and handle those 3 ding-dongs in there. Effigy to you, sir.
Well, this has been a fun night. Thanks for having me, as always. Always fun to come up and argue. Kudos to Azrael for getting on the bottom end of the dog pile. I always know how that feels. It's usually me on it. So much respect for sticking it out. That's all I'll say. Everybody have a good night. Y'all take care.
Thank you, Effigy. Josie, are you with us? All right, Ghosty to you.
Yeah, I'll pretty much second what Effigy said. It was actually a really fun night tonight. And I do appreciate Azrael for letting 5 people pick his brain at the same time. And yeah, usually I'm on the other end of that. So, but I personally find it fun. I kind of like arguing a bunch of people all at the same time. I think it's more fun than being on the same side of 6 people. But anyways, yeah, thanks for being the opposition. And thank you, Sarah, as always.
Always Ghosty.
Miss Sarah, should I say.
Miss Sarah. I know. Maybe I'm going to start forcing that with my force doctrine. Because then I could just do this if you don't say Miss Sarah. That's forced doctrine right there. All right, thanks, Ghosty. Azrael, to you, please. Hi, B.
I mean, I don't really have any extra comments, obviously. I actually got to say my word, even though I was talking to 7 people. But I will say I've always liked Gibbs. I've seen his content. I'm pretty sure I'm actually subbed to him. I have to check. But I've always liked his content. And then I actually typically don't like Effigy, but today I actually enjoyed debating with him, which was very weird for me because I've never liked him. Not one time I've been on this panel. But today, I don't know if it's just he's changed, but he was enjoyable to debate and brought good points and didn't argue like I feel he used to. So it was enjoyable today. I never thought I would say that, but I enjoyed debating him. So
good.
The other guy, the other animation guy, he was cool.
Oh, Adonis Paul. Yeah, he's good. I like him. He's been hanging around the block lately, so it's good stuff. Thank you, Azrael. It's refreshing to have you back up on the panel. We haven't seen you in a while, and I know
baby stuff, women stuff.
I know. Oh, well, yeah, I bet if she's pregnant and due soon. Oh, goodness, I could only imagine that. Fair enough. All right, yes. Josie's still not here. Admiral Gibbs, to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the compliment as well. I appreciate it. I've done like 12 hours debate now, and I tell you what, it's always fun after like debating the ultra left to come on over here or somewhere and find out how I'm not as far right as I get accused of being, and not as far right as I think I am. Because I come over here and I'm like, holy shit, we're learning things. We're gonna have to have a conversation about some of this stuff, I guess. I don't know, but it's always fun to find out.
Anytime, man.
Yeah, it's always good things. I come over here and I'm shocked by things, and I'm just like, well, these are my people. I guess we're gonna have to go from there. But hey, welcome to the rodeo. Thanks for having me, Sarah. As well as fun. Ghosty, good to see you again, and everybody else that has been here. Fun stuff.
Thank you, Gibbs. And if you are watching over on my side, I will be raiding you over to the Powder Dusty. You already know where you're going. Otherwise, just catch the raid on the way over. But also, this is Monday. So Wednesday night, we're going to do a little switch up. We're going to do Throwdown on Wednesday night instead. And it is with Vibe. He has a new theory that both the left and the right have gender all wrong. His entire thought process to this is very interesting. I think it's one that you will want to hear and probably battle out. Whether you are left or right, he's going to get heat from both sides for this one. I just know it. So Gibbs, maybe something to put on your radar if you're still looking for content. And then, of course, Friday or Saturday, I don't think I have a debate this Friday, but I think there's one the following. But we'll do an open panel dumpster fire during one of those nights. I'm just not sure yet. It'll depend on the schedule and what's going on. Outside of that, I hope you all enjoyed this Monday evening, Tuesday morning show. If you want to know where this all started, it's over at The Raging Tomato on YouTube. Go over there, and then, by the way, fuck off.
A long time ago, in a YouTube world full of keyboard warriors, many monsters and trolls lurked in the chat rooms. They thrived on arguments amongst each other until one day, a heroine rose from the ashes. She was made from the tears of beta bitches and the sweat of alpha male gym guys. Throughout the centuries, this keyboard warrior princess showed up in many forms. She slayed many demons along the way. By the light of the moon, she led the simp army into battle. Wielding her sword, she fought through the dark forests. With each new era, the monsters evolved. The keyboard warrior princess grew stronger with new skills to bring them down. The world around her advanced, but so did she. Her heroism became known to society as technology advanced. And with each new generation, she had to learn how to blend in to keep her identity hidden. Now known as the Raging Tomato, this keyboard warrior princess fights for justice in every debate. She fights for freedom, for moderator bias, and she fights for your ability to battle on an open panel for your beliefs. She protects the Sith troopers from destruction. She fights to create peace among troll wars. She storms the battle zones without hesitation and leaves the battleground with her pockets full of souls. Are you ready to battle your fellow trolls? Are you ready for a moderator to give you time to talk? Are you ready for justice, peace, and a fair fight? Tune in every Monday night to watch your friends duke out their issues, or join the open panel so that you can fight the good fight and find resolution with your peers.
Gonna get busy? Yeah? Okay.
Oh, man. Crappity crap. When did it end? Anybody here? In my chat? No? Well, it sucks. Oh. Hold up. Shit. Need that. One person watching? Damn, that's depressing. Need that. Ah. I'm gonna call it a night.